Good evening, everyone. Just doing a quick mic check here. Doreen, are you able to hear me
Check,
okay?
check, check, check.
All
I
right.
can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Leland, you out there?
I can hear you as well. You guys sound a little hot on my end, so I'm not sure. You might want to bring that down a click or
I'm
so.
very hot.
But,
I'm very hot.
I'm referring to your voice hot. Your hot voice.
It's hot.
That's hot too, right? Well, I have to unplug for just a second on my headphones so I can shut the door. So just give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm back.
Jim, check the messages. We have somebody having a hard time getting in.
All right. I do not see John yet in the list, so just keep an eye out for him so I can promote him. Hey, John, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Great. Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No
I-
worries. We
So-
got you. We got you in time.
There's
Welcome,
a
welcome.
Difference between Thursday and Wednesday, apparently.
Yeah. That catches me more than I'd like to admit.
And you have my video turned off, but you can hear me speaking.
Yes. Yep.
Then
Yep.
I'm in your hands from this point on.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Hi, Doreen,
Hi.
and thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Uh-oh, we're about to go live, everyone. I see a bunch of new names here, and I see one of my Garys. I see my Gary here. Hi, Gary. We're going to give people just a few minutes to continue logging in. I know we had one individual who was having a hard time. Oh, Rodney, I see you. Well, I don't see you. I see your name. I don't see you. Ta-da.
Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Look at me
Good
just
evening.
jumping right into the program. Thank you for joining us this evening. My name is Doreen Hankins, and I own a little concealed carry training facility here in Metro Detroit called Detroit Arms. And right above me is my husband, Jim Hankins. Jim, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
And he thinks he's the boss of me. So we'll talk about that later. Welcome everyone. I see a bunch of newbies here. Who all here has not been on a webinar with us before? I see some of my regulars, but participants don't have video. Or is everyone able to see us?
It was referring to the their video. Yeah. So we're on a webinar. So
Okay.
yeah,
First
we
time.
just have
Welcome.
we have two guests that will be joining us tonight.
Welcome. Welcome.
That's why we're doing a sound check.
Okay. All right. Well, for those of you who have not been on a call with us before, I own and operate I call it a small Michigan concealed carry training facility here in metropolitan Detroit. I host class every week. I have anywhere between 20 and 40 students typically per class. I do that all with zero ad spend in any kind of ad on Facebook or Google or any of the traditional methods that a lot of instructors think they need to use in order to put butts in seats. We've done other webinars. We've done webinars that talk directly to advertising. We've done webinars that talk about getting your business set up. But since it's the beginning of the year, we thought we would start all fresh, some recycled information, quite a bit actually recycled information. But I saw when the registrations for the webinar were coming through, I saw a bunch of new names. So I wanted to make sure that everyone got a beginning path for starting their business off on the right foot for 2023. So we called this one Blueprint to Success, and we've got some really great stuff here to talk about. And I'm not sure what button I'm to press. I've got my helper here. So where to begin? As we are talking about a blueprint to success, there's a couple key areas that I want to talk about. The first one would be your Google business profile and Google Maps. It's important that people are able to find you. The next one would be Facebook and Facebook groups. And that is a great platform for getting the word out to the masses, even though Zuckerberg has given me a hard time for many, many years. And we certainly don't see eye to eye on guns. And I think a lot of instructors find that. There are ways to kind of get around some of the rules that they have set up and for you to advertise for free. Having a website. I know a lot of instructors do not have a dedicated website for their business for a plethora of reasons. Sometimes it's just a side hustle and you're pointing your students over to the USCCA website in order for them to book. But you should consider putting up a website, even if it's just a one pager for your business. It is your salesperson 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Beyond that, Stripe has been giving instructors a hard time about not having a website for their business. And we've had instructors that we've worked with that have had their Stripe accounts paused and they had to go out and get a website. A lot of people think websites are going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Not the case. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then I do some guerrilla marketing. That's just other ways that I advertise, low cost, no cost ways that I advertise my business. And we'll talk about that as well. So the first thing we were talking about was Google My Business profile. It literally costs nothing to be listed in Google. It's highly visible. It allows people to find you not just in the business profiles, but also in the maps section, which is really big. People can leave reviews for you for other people who are maybe looking to take a concealed carry class or any firearms training. You can link it to your website. You can have chat installed. So people who are coming to you, who are Googling you on their phone can chat with you. And you can feature things like photos of your place, your hours, and so much more. So on my Google, you'll see it there. That's just a snapshot some months back of, it's got a picture of my classroom. It's got a picture of the building itself. You would be surprised at the number of people who actually want to look at the classroom and where they'll be spending their day. And we reconfigure the classroom all the time. We've got a couple different types of seating, and we recently put a nice comfy couch in the classroom. We call it the VIP seating. It reclines and everything like that. We've had quite a few people coming in with back issues, and they're just older and don't want to sit in some of the chairs that we have. So we've added what we call VIP seating, and it's been fantastic. A free Google Maps listing, again, still costs nothing to be listed. I know a lot of instructors don't have their business listed on Google and Google Maps because they're of the impression that you have to have an actual physical address in order to do so. And that's simply not true. They will ask you for an address because they will likely mail you a confirmation email just to verify that you are in fact who you say you are. It'll be a postcard that you get in the mail a week or two after you put your information in Google. You go in, you put in the 4 to 6 digit code that they send you, and then you're able to take your information live. You are able to delineate what service areas you offer. So instead of just saying that I handle Chesterfield, Michigan, I'm putting Chesterfield, Michigan, as well as 19 other suburban areas around me. So somebody doesn't have to be Googling firearms training in Chicago. They could say firearms training in Naperville, firearms training in, and if you've put that city in there, it will pop up. So it's highly visible. People can search for local trainers. I'm listed as a firearm academy just because that is one of the Google chosen descriptions of a business. I'm also listed as a self-defense instructor, and you can pick one or two different ways to be listed, but Firearms Academy seems to be the most popular one. You can link this to your website as well. Chat features are also able to be installed. You can give people directions direct to your facility. And again, you don't need a physical address. They may ask for one for mailing, but when you get down to the nitty gritty of putting your information out there publicly, you can check a little box that says, do not make this address public. Facebook, again, it costs nothing to be listed, highly visible. People can leave you reviews again. It's amazing how many people go out and choose a CPL class just based on reviews alone. I get people commenting on the reviews that they've read about Detroit Arms. I would have to say that probably a third of my class is people who are sent to me referred by another person who has taken the class. There's another percentage of them that have found me on Google and on Facebook and have read the reviews and chose us. And then there's another percentage of people who are in the class and they were just calling down a list of instructors that they found on Google, and I answered the phone. So again, chat features can be installed there as well. You can advertise your classes. You can put photos and hours, and it's also a great way to do some of the guerrilla marketing that we've spoken about. Facebook groups. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Facebook groups. I'm currently a member of over 190. The other day it was 187. I found a couple more. But I advertise in Facebook groups in addition to other places that I put my information. Advertising in groups is absolutely free. It does not cost anything. What you do need to do, though, is you need to actively pursue the group, ask to join, make sure they allow advertising in their group, and then just be active within the group. There's thousands of groups available. Many of them have multiple groups. So like where we are, there are multiple Chesterfield groups. There's multiple New Baltimore groups. There's multiple Macomb County groups, and I belong to them all. It's free to join them. It's free to put advertising in them, highly visible. Many of these groups have 10,000 plus people who are in them. So it is a great way to get your information out to the public. And many of the groups also have live calendars where you can go and list all your classes so that when somebody goes to the group, they're able to see that you have class coming up in the next couple days, and then they can click on that and go to you to register for the class. Website. We have a website. Our website is constantly evolving and changing. That is my 24-hour day, 7-day a week, 365-day a year salesperson for Detroit Arms. It shows all of my classes, the times for class. It's got industry information. So if you go to the bottom of my website, I've got interviews I've done. I've got things about reciprocity and renewing your CPL. I've got links to purchase online videos, and we're going to talk to that a little bit later. It's got a map to my business and directions. It's got a blog with relevant news. If there's something coming across the radar, just recently they started a little chatter here about red flag laws in Michigan. Whatever the most recent news is, I will often write a blog article about it. And again, chat capabilities. Guerrilla marketing. These are the things that I do in order to get business, things that are just cheap, easy to do. I print out business cards specific to my class. If you look back here, you see that yellow card that's kind of hanging on the range. That is a business card that I leave all over town. I drop them in restaurants that we go to, if they have an area for you to put them there. Many of the restaurants in our area have like a little small business table where everybody leaves their business cards, or they have a wall where you can put stuff up there. I run contests on my Facebook page. I run one during football season. I run them during hockey season. I run them during any sporting season. I put out there for any big game that's happening locally. If you can tell me who the winner of the game is and the final score, and you're correct, you win a gift certificate to a Detroit Arms Michigan CPL class. I run this contest faithfully every weekend. I pick either a NFL game. If there isn't an NFL game on, I'll pick a college game, whatever the hot game is that week. And believe it or not, I have run it all year last year, never once had a winner. So it gets me a lot of traffic to my Facebook page, which helps me with relevancy. People tend to share that. So they'll share it on their Facebook page. And is there something wrong with the sound? Away a little bit? Okay. It gets me a lot of activity. People share it. It's different when somebody shares an email. When somebody shares an email, they typically send it to like one person. But if they share a Facebook post, if they have 1,000 friends, 1,000 friends are seeing the Facebook post. So it's a great way to get your information out there. I do flyers on community boards. I donate gift certificates to local fundraisers in the area. The trick is you don't donate them in pairs, you donate a gift certificate. And that way, typically the winner of the gift certificate will bring somebody with them paying. I host free USCCA mini classes, and I do regular emails to all of my past students. Should be no surprise that email marketing to a former student is 6 to 7 times less money than marketing to a cold list of people. So the people that you've already taught, the people who are familiar with you, who have done business with you, who have taken a class with you, they are very likely to refer people to you. And so you should always maintain contact with people who've taken your class. So you can train students 24/7 utilizing Zoom and video on demand. And all of the challenges that a lot of you are facing right now are creating massive opportunities for instructors nationwide. Online learning is a huge growing trend. Zoom videos, we're on one now, tend to be live, but you can also replay them. And then video on demand is huge. This is a unique time in history. It really is. Never before has online learning been more accepted. And we, as firearms trainers, need to embrace the technology. Statistics, there's a $458 billion projected value of global e-learning by 2026. 70% of students agree that online classes are better than traditional. And there's a lot of reasons for that. People, especially newbies, don't want to come into a room of seasoned firearm owners and then feel stupid when they don't understand vernacular and things like that. So when they're polling people, it's probably because they were unfamiliar with a topic when they took a class. 98% of US corporations have incorporated online learning into their business model, and 42% of businesses who use online learning generate more income than those who do not. And I can, the source, yeah, I have the source. I will get you the source. I quoted it on my initial slides, and I just stole it from an old thing, but I will get you the quotes. Right in. There you go. The people who use online learning are generating more income than those that don't. And I can tell you, because I utilize online learning, that it is huge. So we're going to rewind the clock a little bit. And we're going to go back to when COVID hit. Here in March of 2020, the COVID pandemic was in full swing here in Michigan. And our governor said, no more in-person training. All of that has to stop. Schools closed, shuttered. And we all know that that's how I made my money. I put butts and seats in a classroom. And so now I could not do what it was I did for a living. I have employees that are needing to be paid. I did not want to do the whole government handout thing. I'm just really not going to go down that path. So we had to find a way to pivot and pivot fast. What Jim calls field expedient methods were put into place. And this was not an easy task for anybody who knows me. They will tell you that I do not like change, and I'm very regimented in how I set up my classroom, how I put out my material, how the class is delivered, what we're having for lunch, the whole 9 yards. So the idea of me having to pivot and find another way to do business was just unfathomable for me. So let's enter the pushback. Jim wanted me to get on Zoom and just do the classes via Zoom. And I'm like, Zoom for firearm training? You've got to be kidding me. There's no way people take these classes in person. I've never used Zoom. I don't have time to learn a new program, blah, blah, blah. I actually ended up contacting the state of Michigan, giving them a peek into what our curriculum was to show them that we were in fact following the curriculum put out by the state. And they said, fine, you can do 5 hours of Zoom webinar with people. It has to be live. It cannot be recorded, but you can do the first 5 hour of your 8-hour class online. And then you need to do the additional 3 hours of the class in person. So initially we didn't worry about the next 3 hours. We were just worried about getting people connected and getting them into that Zoom. So then I gave them pushback because I didn't want to be on camera. I gave them every reason in the book. I said I had bad hair. I didn't like how I looked. I'm nervous in front of a camera. And he knows better. He knows that I don't really care about any of those things. And so I tried. And so sorry, I've got a piece of hair that is just making me crazy. And then I said, who would buy into this? That people were used to doing training in person and that they're never going to want to log on to a webinar. How am I going to change the mindset? How will I manage groups of people like that? And why would they even want to do this? And fun fact, it turns out people ate it up. They were all sitting home looking for something to do. And quite honestly, you can only watch so many Netflix movies before they started checking off things on their to-do list. And so apparently doing a CPL class was on their list. We went from hosting in-person training primarily on the weekends to teaching every single day. We had class sizes that more than doubled because we weren't restricted to how many people we could take in. At the time, we were in a different facility than we are today. And so we were really limited to about 20 people in a classroom. We could double, triple the number of people that we were having, especially in our first 5 hours of the class. And then people who would not normally attend a CPL class because of weekend things that they had to do were now coming to class because it wasn't any longer weekend only classes. We were doing classes Monday through Sunday. So it was a great boon for business. You're probably wondering, well, what happened when we did the segment 2? Eventually the governor opened up the state, and she said if you were meeting with people in person, you could do 10 people at a time. 10 people could be in your facility. That was a huge problem because at that point I had hundreds of people who had taken segment 1 and now needed to get through segment 2. So she said you can gather 50 people outdoors. So what Jim did was had me order a circus tent, had me order 50 chairs, and we ended up, there's a open field right where our range is. And so I opened up and put a circus tent up there. We kept it up 7 days a week. We put 50 chairs out there, and we would cycle people through the 3 hour in-person segment, 10 people at a time. in the range, and it was fantastic. People are still talking about it to this day, and it hasn't stopped. USCCA instructors all over the country are taking advantage of online training right now. Many are using a little known program, and we're going to get to that, with leveraging huge results in the number of students that they have coming to them for training. Everyone on this call has knowledge, and we should all be monetizing it. It's just a fact that students are less threatened by online content, and they are apt to sign up just to see what it's all about. It establishes credibility for you as a trainer because you get to highlight your personal knowledge and your teaching style, and classes can be available 24/7. So how many of you are feeling optimistic? Are you feeling optimistic yet? Put in there. Are you feeling what I'm throwing down here? Okay, good. I just need to make sure everyone's tracking with me. So all the challenges that you face, again, are creating massive opportunities nationwide. And don't say maybe next month, because it is the new year. So we have to go on with this. So if you can dream it, you can do it. You don't need a fancy studio. You don't need a special beauty routine. All you need is the ability to form words, and content is king. And so now you're saying to yourself, but how? So USCCA, if you go into your instructor portal, you will see that they have a bunch of mini classes that you're able to teach. And these are some of the mini classes that they have. These are all required to be delivered live. We're not allowed to record these classes, but you can do them live. You can do them on a Zoom call, and you can take credit for every single one of those people who attended your class. So you can do the 55-minute mini classes that they've thrown out there. They've got a couple of programs out there. They've got the real estate agent safety. They've got how to identify a public threat. If you go into your instructor portal, you'll see them all in there for you to teach. As long as you're delivering this information live, it's not to be recorded, but you're delivering it live, you can use every single one of the students that have signed in to do that towards your 20 student minimum for the year. And so I saw people all the time in the USCCA forums saying, hey, I can't make my 20 people. Here you go. Easy way to make your 20 people. You can do assisted training. We have a gentleman on the call today. His name is John Colas, and he's the author and creator of a book called Pistol Practice. Zach, can you run to my desk and grab that book? I left it behind it. It is a 141-page spiral bound book filled with well thought out training for the new shooter, the recreational shooter, the intermediate shooter. And I know myself because I split my time being here at Detroit Arms, and I often spend time at the range. We have a range right down the street that we partner with, and I spend an awful lot of time over there. In fact, I was there twice today. I'm not necessarily on the range training students, but I am there watching the cameras and seeing how people train with their guns. And the reality of the situation is that people don't know how to train with their gun. They know how to go to the range, and this is the book, by the way. It's phenomenal. They know how to go to the range. They know how to shoot. They know how to stand there in their little isosceles pose and shoot at a piece of paper that might be fluttering in the breeze from the fans on the range. But they really don't know what to do. They're just throwing lead down range, wasting time. And John has taken the time to write a book, and it guides the person through some challenging exercises with the goal of making them a better shooter. He has an affiliate instructor program that he's created so that you, as an instructor, can teach pistol practice to your students. John, are you on the line? Jim, can you put John? There you are. So, John, if you want to tell them a little bit about your book and pistol practice.
Thank you so much. Well, first of all, thank you, Doreen, and thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Folks, I joined Pew Pros about 2 months ago, And I have dialed into every webinar since, and I take notes every time, and I have learned so much. I love recreational shooting. I think it's a lot of fun. There's so much focus on practical and self-defense, but strong fundamentals contribute to a good self-defense posture. So exactly what Doreen said, I just observed over the years that, gosh, people just don't know how to practice. And I can't teach you how to shoot in a book, but I can certainly teach people how to practice. I'm an instructor full-time now. I'm in the range about 4 days a week. Not just teaching USCCA or NRA basic pistol, but I coach people and I use elements from my book every day. The affiliate program gives you an opportunity to put together a 90-minute to 2-hour class in which every student will receive a copy of the book, and you will take them through a split of classroom time and live fire. So you're going to introduce them to what's the mindset of good practicing, of making good use of your time at the range. And then how do you use the book on a regular basis? Then you go to the range and you'll take them through 4 of the chapters. I already have the course materials ready for you. I have the PowerPoint ready to go, and I will support you, remotely. I'd love to travel the country and meet some of you in person. But the idea of the affiliate program is if you are an NRA or USCCA certified instructor, you can reach out to me, john@pistolpractice.com, and I will arrange to provide you the training that lets you deliver this course on your own. Price it for your local market, whatever works for you. All I'm getting out of it is basically the book sales. I will sell the books to you in bulk at a deeply discounted price, so that you have the materials you need to successfully teach this course. Let me just pause there and check in with Doreen and Jim or others for questions.
Thank you,
or
John.
guidance.
That was fantastic. For those of you that are and it's warm in Arizona now, Daniel says. So if you wanted to travel, start with Arizona. They're asking, what is your contact information again?
John@pistolpractice.com. JOHN@pistolpractice.com. My website is pistolpractice.com. Jim's got it there in the chat.
Gotcha. So for those of you who are interested in learning more about pistol practice, join us next week on Wednesday of next week, 7 p.m. We're going to have John as the host of our webinar, and he's going to show you a preview of the training and explain in detail how you can expect to use the book and, of course, use it to your benefit. So mark your calendar for next Wednesday, February 8th, 2023 at 7 p.m. And we'll have John on. You'll get to see him. You'll get to look at the book, and he'll put up information so that you can decide if this is something that you want to offer in your area. It's a great way to take people who normally would just go to the range and throw lead down range and say, wow, that was $50 not well spent, to get them excited about shooting and get them excited about how to learn how to practice. So thank you, John. And we will see you back here Wednesday next week. I look forward to
it.
Yeah, me too. So then you have the opportunity to create your own content. I've done it. I've done a ton of my own content. And when you're creating your own content, this can be monetized and delivered via on-demand video, which is available to people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I've done courses on basic firearm safety, kids and guns, concealed carry versus open carry. These are all things that you can do your own class on. Things that don't require state mandated curriculums, things that don't require the state saying, hey, you have to deliver this in person. Anything you can think of, you can turn it into your own content. You can record it. You can put it up 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That being said, I happen to have the bonus of having my own studio. Not that you need a studio, but some people are like, well, I'm doing it the right way or I'm not doing it at all. I've seen instructors out there who record on an iPhone. I've seen instructors out there who record in studios. The important part is getting your information out to the people who are looking for it. So if you choose to do your own content, great. If you don't choose to do it all on your own, I have Leland on the phone. Leland, are you on the line?
I'm here, Doreen. Thank you.
Awesome. Leland is my birthday brother. He and I were born on exactly the same day of the same year. And he's like family to me. And
I know, right?
he runs Best Studios here in Michigan. And Leland, tell him a little bit about what you do.
Well, basically, I'm a technical director by trade. I've worked on a lot of the bigger projects you may have seen recently. One in particular I've worked on is the Public Health Institute's opioid and overdose crisis events over the last couple of years. I basically do a lot of AV work on this end to help people get their quality product out to the masses. It's all about getting your video in front of all the people that need to see it. Everyone has that message to deliver, and we want to make sure your message looks and sounds as best as possible. So I've been doing this for 10 plus years. I started back in the 80s as someone who was into AV a long time, and it's just been something that has taken me to this point. And I'm really enjoying the fact that I've gotten to meet up with Jim and Doreen and be able to kind of take a little twist of the AV world and bring it to you folks over here in the CPL world. So thanks for having us.
Hey, you bet. The beauty of Leland is that he does everything from remote. While he can travel to you, that gets pricey, but he can do everything remote. So he will work with you to discuss, your camera options, the content that you are planning on delivering, go over that with you, lighting, sound, to make sure that you look and sound your best in your video. He does it every day of his life. He's fantastic at it. He has shows that he creates. He does a lot of work in the medical industry and very well crafted at this, very well versed to what it is we do as CPL instructors. And so he's available to help. So you don't have to feel like you're out there blowing in the wind and not having anybody there to help you. We have a bunch of done for you content, stuff that I've already recorded. I've done all the heavy lifting for you. I've created the slides. I voiced them over. They're all ready to go. It's all done for you, and you can customize these videos that we've already done by removing the soundtrack and using your own voice. You can leave them as is and maybe put a bumper on the front and the end of the video so that you have an opportunity to showcase yourself and what you look like, what you sound like. You can literally launch these things in as little as a day. We've already got them recorded up, and we host them on a server that is 2A friendly. They're not being hosted someplace that we're going to put all this stuff up there and one day someone's going to come by and knock, 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 you're teaching people dangerous things and take it down. And the USCCA has that real estate agent safety class. Because we cannot deliver that in a recorded format, I am currently working on my own real estate agent safety program that will also become part of the products that we are able to offer as done for you, as far as stuff that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week that you can monetize. So now I'm going to share with you in just a few minutes how you can join. We have people on the call, actually, people that I have that have taken advantage of our pre-recorded information, and they've already gone down the path of what I want to show you. But first, I want to show you a little bit of proof about this whole idea of recording and putting information up online. This is a snapshot from a couple months back. It is for a course that I created at the prodding of my husband. We have people who call our shop all the time asking if we have a class for renewing your CPL. Here in the state of Michigan, we renew our CPL every 5 years. And in the letter that comes to you from the county, they call out that you need to do a 3-hour review of training and an hour of range time in order to renew your CPL license. The class is not required. You can self-study, but people are a little edgy about that. They really don't want to be responsible for their own training. So they call us and say, hey, do you have a renewal class? For the first couple years that people were asking us for that, we were like, no, class isn't required, just look on the state website. Then Jim was like, you silly, why wouldn't you invite them into your CPL class? It's more butts and seats. So then we started having renewal students come take 3 hours of our class. Well, now they don't want to pay full price for the class. So a full seat for the class was $99. A partial seat for the class was half. So I would charge them $50. I still to this day do renewals. I do a dedicated class twice a month. And there's typically about a dozen people in every class. I've separated the renewals out from the new people because we were often getting renewal people coming to class that weren't trained by us initially. And they would say, well, my instructor said, and it was really disruptive to the class. So I do a in-person renewal class, $50. We sit for 3 hours and go over what they need to know. Eventually I took that information and put it in book form, but the groans that came with that, well, I sell a lot of the books. The groans that came with that were, I didn't want to read a book. Jim pushed me to create a video. I sell usually 3 to 5 a day. And so I'm making $100 a day, people watching this video. And this was what I created. I created a 3-hour Michigan pistol license renewal course. It covers the state required, what they consider required training for a CPL. So renewing people aren't required to take a class, but a lot of them do. And so I know Jim is really pushy. Oh, wait, that's you. This is what it looks like. I put up a separate website and I'll tell you why. Michigan is a big state. My name of my business is Detroit Arms. So you've got the state of Michigan, you've got Detroit right down here, but we have all of this territory plus the Upper Peninsula, the Upper Peninsula to cover. If somebody goes to a website and sees the word Detroit, they're going to think that it doesn't apply to them. So we created a website. It's just a one-page funnel. And it is for Michigan concealed pistol license holders. It's called MichiganCPLrenewal.com. And I put my information out there. And the class that I created is valid for every county in Michigan. They go to this funnel and they can choose how they're going to take their class. They can do an in-person class with me. They can do the online self-paced video, or they can do the printable ebook. We give them reasons why to take a CPL class. It's good for you. You don't know what you don't know. And a lot of people that come to class often say, this is more information than I learned in my whole CPL class when I initially took our CPL class. So we give them some reasons about why they should come. And then when they do purchase it, they get it sent to them in a format where they log in with their email and password. That's presented to them when they check out, and it's given to them in chapters. And so they can watch them at their convenience. It keeps track of where they were. It keeps track of if they've completed a segment. And I've added a couple of other things into our video program. So many people don't know how to call 911. They know how to dial 911. They don't know that everything they say can and will be used against them in a court of law. So I've done a little section on that. I did a little section on reciprocity. We have a lot of states now that are constitutional carry, and people think, well, they're going to Arizona. Arizona has constitutional carry. Well, that's really not the case. If you are an Arizona resident, you may be allowed to constitutionally carry. But if you're coming in from a state that is not Arizona and you want to carry a gun, you're going to need a CPL in order to do that. So we cover a lot of those things. And then, of course, I cover the whole USCCA coverage thing. This is what the video looks like when it's playing. It is a PowerPoint presentation that was created. They can pick what they're watching. They can watch it. I'm voicing behind the scenes, everything that's in there. And I literally make money while I sleep. You saw that little snapshot. There are people buying this at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. It's an easy sale. People are going to online training because it's less intimidating for a new gun owner. I've got another class that I created called Introduction to Handguns. Again, people go to that before they take a CPL class. They want to know the vernacular. They want to know what the difference is between a semi-automatic and a revolver. You're able to address the fact that they don't know what they don't know in mass numbers. My people are coming to class way more prepared than they have been in the past. You get the perspective that the customers kind of get the chance to meet you before they decide to train with you. Jim watches a bunch of videos every single day. He always has a video on, and there are instructors out there that just have this energy or lack of energy that I can't even get on board with. So if I signed up for a 16-hour class and found out that I could barely understand the person, or this person has clearly drank too much coffee and I have to sit and listen to this for 2 straight days, I couldn't do it. So people get a chance to meet who you are. When they come to your class again, they're way better prepared to learn. And the best part is there's no restriction on how many people I can train. With online video, it's 1 person, it's 100 people, it doesn't matter. I'm able to hit the masses. This all can be done in any state in the United States of America. We as USCCA instructors are able to get our information out to anybody that wants to hear it. If you have an internet connection, you can do it. If you have the ability to form words, which clearly I struggle with, you can do it. If you've got an idea, any kind of information, it can be taught as a class, and you should be out there teaching things. People yearn for training, and they don't always have the time to take an actual physical class. Classes that run $10, throw them up there. It's an hour-long class, whatever. They eat it up. They really do. And with video on demand, of course, you don't have to have a place to host the class. You're not paying for rental. You're not paying anyone other than yourself to get that done. The best part about all of this is, unlike other video on demand platforms, there's plenty of them out there. There's plenty of schooling platforms out there that take a percentage of the sales that you make for your online videos. With the Cloud Bedrock platform, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit about here in a bit, you keep every single penny you make. There is no cut with a class provider. It is all you. Every penny you make, you keep to yourself. Your content is hosted on the Cloud Bedrock platform, so you don't need to search for a place to host it. I put up videos that you can use as a Cloud Bedrock client, and you can put your own stuff up there. It's not visible to anybody other than you and your clients, but we're here and available to help you through all of that. So you've heard a little bit about Cloud Bedrock. You probably want to know what it is, but I'm going to tell you, it's what you do right now that determines your future. Whether you benefit from this program or whether you continue down your current path, we're going to help you put butts in seats. So at this point of my show, we always have somebody go away and look up what is Cloud Bedrock. And before you do that, I don't want you to get scared off by his website. What Cloud Bedrock is an app in a whole business platform created by USCCA instructors. I'm a USCCA instructor. Jim is a USCCA instructor, and it's created for instructors. And why? Because for Detroit Arms, I wear all the hats. Much like all of you, I am the person who answers the phone, who posts on social media, who gets the class prepared, who teaches the class, who cleans the class, who advertises for the class. I vacuum, and then I go into the bathroom and I yell to Jim, who is eating candy in the bathroom? Because it never fails. Every single class, I go to clean the guy's room and there's candy wrappers all over the top of the toilets. And I don't know who's doing it, but there's one in every class. I hold all responsibility for everything. Now, that being said, I do have an instructor that I bring in that helps with every single one of my classes. In fact, I typically have Matt do the majority of the class. I do a quick 45-minute intro. He does the rest of the class. I'm fortunate for that. But every other hat that goes on here, it's on me. And so I get what it's like to be an instructor trying to put butts in seats. Cloud Bedrock is a platform that has all the tools that you need as an instructor all in one place. Jim has spent many hours trying to figure out how it is I do what I do, and it's like, well, you have to answer all the phone calls. Yeah, I do. And I'm often on the phone. So when somebody calls me and I don't answer the phone, I'm going to have a way to call them back almost instantly, because otherwise they're just going to go to the next person on the list and call that person. So he figured that out. It's got SMS messaging, which is, I never know what it is. It's short message something or another, but that's the little texts that you get on your phone. Oftentimes, well, more so in the past than now, our range was a couple miles away from our classroom. Now the range is less than half a mile away. But in the past, what would happen is I would leave to go to the range before the class so I could meet up with my RSOs. We could set up the range. I would leave an instructor behind with the class, and I would come upon a car accident. And I would want to get a message to everybody, hey, there's a car accident, take this route rather than another route. Great way to get it across. There you go, short message or short messaging service. That's what it calls. It's also a great way to send reminder notices to your students. An empty seat is lost revenue. So that's another way to do it. We've got email messaging. I used to use MailChimp for my emails. It was running me about $80 a month for MailChimp, for them to just hold all of my emails in their little database and then allow me to create emails to send out to everyone. That's a little bit pricey, $80 a month for something as rudimentary as that. I know several instructors use Gmail. They have a little platform, but once you get past a certain number of emails that you're emailing, of course, they're going to charge you for that. It's got web chat. In the past, when I would put a chat function on my website or on Facebook or on Google, I would have to actually physically be in front of my computer in order to answer those questions that are coming over on chat. That became a problem because I don't like to sit still. So now all of my chats come across my phone. The Cloud Bedrock app installs right onto my phone. Anyone can reach out to me from any one of my platforms. It comes straight to my phone. So even when I'm at Sam's Club shopping, I can continue running my business without delay in traffic. In addition to that, I can put as many people on my chat platform as I want. So if I know I'm going to be out of pocket for an hour or 2 or 5, I can tell Jim, hey, your turn to man the chat. And he does that for me. He's good about that. Reputation management. A lot of people don't realize that how Google ranks you in Google My Business and Google Maps is often based on your reputation. And so you have 5-star reviews, you're headed towards the top. You have 100 5-star reviews, you're headed to the top. They tend to rank businesses in the Google business profile by not only how many reviews you have or if you have reviews, but also if you are responding back to your clients with the reviews that they've given you. They like you to keep on their platform. They like to have you interact with people on their platform. So managing your reputation is huge. We've got websites, we've got funnels, we've got the online learning portals that we've talked about before, and so much more. So we personally help you streamline and grow your business. You are not alone in this struggle. I have been doing this for 15 years. I have made every mistake possible in advertising, getting shut down on Facebook, spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on all kinds of things. You can learn from my trials and tribulations. You get one-on-one support with Jim and I. We take and look at what you have existing. If you have a website up already, if you have existing marketing materials out there, let me see what you have. I can't tell you what to do or how to do it, but I can tell you what I've done and what's worked for me, and try to see if that will work for you to get 20 to 40 people in seats. We give you suggestions for growth. We'll help you with logo and meme development, marketing assistance, and so much more. So your plan for 2023 should be to launch your course creation. I give you 4 done for you starter courses. You get a copy of my funnel. And if you're not familiar with what funnels are, they're basically websites that you send people to kind of get them to do something you want them to do. So I have a funnel for real estate people. A lot of real estate people don't want to talk about guns, but they do want to talk about real estate safety. So I have a funnel called realestatesafety.com, and real estate agents are able to log in, go through the funnel, attend my class for real estate agent safety. I've got the Michigan CPL renewal, and I have others that I do here and there. So you're going to get copies of my funnels. You're going to get access to all of the future done for you courses, and so much more. It's such a fantastic thing. Cloud Bedrock is Jim and I, and we have a support staff as well. And unlike most of the tech landscape out there, we respect the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. We've got 15 plus years in the firearm training business. Jim is a U.S. Army veteran, so he owns and operates this very militantly, I should say. And then we are definitely 2A friendly. And to say that we are 2A friendly is a understatement. These are the pricing program for Cloud Bedrock. The Essentials program starts at $197 a month, and you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, that is huge money. It really isn't when you think about how much business something like Cloud Bedrock can help you bring into your business. $497 is the professional program. For a limited time, we're offering the websites and funnels package in with the $197 a month to USCCA instructors. So that gives you the opportunity to have the membership platform where people can log in and do online training, whether it's generic training that I've provided or stuff that you're doing on your own. I ask for everyone to book a quick 15-minute phone call with Jim and I, and we will walk you through everything that we do. I don't want to overwhelm people or make this into a giant phone frenzy or a sales frenzy. That's me, by the way. Jim keeps this picture as his, what do you call it, Jim? Your wallpaper on your phone. That's me with a little bit of
it's even
attitude.
on my watch.
Yeah, he got me a Frisbee. So I'm developing a class with alternative weaponry that I'm gonna teach. But
weapons of opportunity.
Weapons of opportunity. Yeah. I am. Why do you tell people this stuff? Pack a lunch. My 15-minute calls traditionally go 30 minutes to an hour. if you're short on time when you're booking your 15-minute call, make sure you let me know, because I can talk the hind leg off a jackass. So I will spend all day on it. But as long as you include a boomerang, that's a great idea. So if anybody's interested, does anyone have any questions at all about developing your blueprint for success for 2023?
Yeah, why don't you maybe stop your sharing? We'll bring John and Leland on as well. So in case
I don't know
they
how
have any
to stop my
questions,
sharing. Can I stop my sharing?
well, Zachary knows how. I
I
can.
know, but he can't hear you in my head. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. We'll bring. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, John and Leland, if you want to come on as well.
You'll have to give me video. You'll have to turn it on for me.
Okay, sure. Yep. Let's see.
It says you stopped it, actually, so you have to start my video on the, probably check my user in the list.
Yeah, I'll do that. Well, Doreen, keep talking. Don't stop now. Don't put the pressure on me, man.
It's all on you, dude. You're the technology guy. Thank you, Virginia Tactical Shooting Academy. We actually have, or had, Gary, are you still on here? You are. I see you on there. Can we allow him to talk? Gary,
Yep.
Are you here? You've got your microphone off, but
yeah, bringing Gary in as well.
Gary is one of our Cloud Bedrock alumni, and he's been on the program, I want to say 2 or 3 months now, and has had an opportunity to kind of see some of the things that we have going on. It has had the opportunity to talk to us one-on-one, and I turned his ability to talk on, but he's just being silent in the background. Wanted to see if he had anything to add.
And Leland, I
we
made
would
you
love
co-host.
Matt
Maybe
to talk about you, talk with you
There we
more about.
go.
Haha, there
Yes,
you are.
Leland.
There you
All
are.
right.
Is John coming to the party?
Yep, and I've got John promoted as well, so he should be in there. And Gary's promoted if he didn't walk away from his.
There's John.
There you
All right. Does anyone have any questions for the panel here? Everyone's being so quiet.
Don't. Yeah. No one's going to.
I've received a couple of emails. Could I speak to a couple of things?
Of course.
Sure.
Of course.
Okay. So first of all, I want to comment on Cloud Bedrock. Okay. So before I had the opportunity to make my passion my primary daily activity, I spent 30 years as a software engineer managing large technology programs. So when I first got invited to Pew Pros and heard about Cloud Bedrock, I was dismissive. I was like, yeah, I've got my own website. I've got my domain. I know what I'm doing. Then I attended another webinar, and then Doreen spent about 45 minutes with me one day for my 15-minute appointment. And I realized how much more is in Cloud Bedrock. Okay. So it's a very feature-rich platform, folks. You get a phone number, you get all of your messaging routed to you. It makes it easy to take your body of knowledge and turn it into revenue. So I just had to share that because it's been a great early ride for me. I've received a few emails. Thank you very much about pistol practice. One question was, what do I sell the class for? I'm in Boston, and my market may be different than yours. Okay. My class is selling for $125 to $150 for the session, and that's 90 minutes. I always say 90 minutes to 2 hours because I'm very generous with my time. When I get going with the group, you may already get a sense of it. I just want to have fun. And I say we're going to do 4 exercises in the class, but maybe I'll do 5. So I'm getting $125 to $150 for what's advertised as a 90-minute session. When you buy the book wholesale from me, the average cost to you is about $20 a copy. Okay. So you can buy the book in 10, 20, or 30 instructor packs, and that will give you the book for each student. So 20 copies can probably do what? 2 10-person classes, and you get the course materials you need to deliver it. The other question I got was, can they get a preview of the book? I'm not shipping the book out as samples, but I can email people that ask for it a PDF excerpt of the book to give you a sense of what it's like. Does that sound good?
It really does.
So let me just stop there. I think that's the 2 main questions I got.
So Daniel, you've taken some social media classes for the firearms industry. Yeah, that's awesome. Support on demand. We have a support system for the Cloud Bedrock. Jim, can you maybe account to that? Aside from me, who is constantly on my phone, you can always ask a support question. And if I'm not available, I will point you to Jim because he's the brains behind the operation. I'm just the smart mouth. But explain what we have for support.
Yeah. So within the Cloud Bedrock platform, you get a web console, which is where you do a lot of the configuring of things. And within that console is a chat support area, and we staff that. We've got 14 people that staff 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. Monday through Friday. Right now, we will soon be 24/7, but that's the time frame we have right now, and they will be able to handle the bulk of any questions you might have if you're just quandering about something. Of course, we have online documentation, and then Doreen and I are available to book on our schedule. Our schedule's up on the website. We have a general schedule that's just for a quick 15-minute Q&A, and then I share with customers my direct calendar for sessions with me, and there's no limit to that other than the number of hours in the day and the number of people simultaneously doing that. And I've had customers that have booked me, a couple times a week for 3 weeks straight, just to because they had some complex integrations they wanted to do, and that's perfectly fine. I'm here to do that with you. So,
right.
But yeah,
and we understand that as an instructor, a lot of you are out there doing it as a side hustle. So you have a regular 9-to-5 job. You're probably teaching on the weekends because that's the only time that you have available. So it is not unusual for Jim and I to be working with someone 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night or on a Sunday or whatever. So we're always available. It's just that oftentimes I'm with a class, but we do make ourselves available to you. Even if it's just a quick chat, even if it's just, hey, let me bounce an idea off of you. Or, hey, I want to create a meme that I can use on Facebook to advertise a class. We're here for you. Awesome. Thank you, Smitty, for scheduling. That's fantastic. Anyone else have any questions at all? Gary's still being silent.
Could I address one thing while we're here, Doreen?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
One thing that a lot of people may not realize with this new electronic age of Zoom that we have in the world, thanks to COVID, is that this is now our new calling card. This is now our new business card. It's now that we can't reach out 6 feet to hand one over to someone, we kind of have to rely on video to make the connecting point between people from across nations, across states, across county lines, whatever that might be. And that's why it's so important to develop that avatar of yourself in video so that you can present yourself to your audience in a professional manner. And that's really all we're here to help you do, is to help you build that avatar.
Absolutely. It sets you apart from other instructors out there. I've got on my shopping cart where people can go and watch a video of me talking about some of the most frequently asked questions that I get. People love to put a face to a name, and they get that feeling of having developed a relationship with you because they've seen me on YouTube. They've seen me on Facebook. They've seen me on that video that I have on my shopping cart. And so when they come through the door, it's hilarious because then it's like they're meeting this celebrity and they have no idea. I mean, you know me, but they have no idea the hot mess that they've just incurred. But they come through the door and we already know each other. It feels like very familial. It's amazing how video has transformed a typewritten piece of paper confirming something to people feel like they know you. They inherently trust you more, being able to see you face to face. And video training has been huge for us. We haven't hosted a lot of classes recently because people are just so edgy to get out and get amongst people. But we do host regular things where I am teaching people online. And it's just because it's more convenient for them. We're, having snowstorms every other week here and, doing a quick 55-minute class online is better than not doing anything at all. So, yeah. Yeah. So I saw a question here about where we will be sharing this recording. Absolutely. Jim, can you let everyone know when we'll be doing that? And then someone was asking how they can ask more questions and book a 15-minute call. It's really easy to ask questions. We'll answer anything you ask. I don't know the lotto numbers that I can't give you, but. And then oh, Rodney. So you must have set it up as 99. You wanted as $9.99. Yeah, Jim will walk you through that. Anyone else have any questions?
Looks like Instructor Bravo had one. Did you get that one?
Let me see here. I think that was I don't know how to move things around here. I have technical help. Let's see.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I answered that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yep.
Leland, do you offer video editing services?
Yeah, a little bit. It's really based on as needed. I'm happy to review anybody's projects or budgets included to make things work for them, because coming from the type of videos that we produce, I mean, I'm related to a lot of people that work in Hollywood and a lot of the people who work in higher echelon areas as well, but that's not what we provide here. So just to clarify for those small business owners out here, this is definitely whittled down for the sake of small business owners. We have put together programs and processes that we use that make it easy for everybody to just kind of show up at a site, drop their PowerPoint presentation into a slide deck folder, and then we show up in the same Zoom. 1080p presentation is delivered in whatever time frame you need it in. So we just sit and get it right until it's the way it should be. We don't just give you one take and say, okay, it's done. We sit you down and we give you all the tech checks. We go through your lighting, your sound, your placement, your framing, and get your sound and audio to match up perfectly. And then once your recording starts, we work you through the process of how to record professionally and be able to take pauses and not start overs and just continue on. And then that editing process becomes much simpler. We actually shoot for a full-on live style broadcast so that there is very little editing at all. That's really what we're going for.
Okay.
Ken loves my red hair. It is Miss Clairol 5B. No, 5R. 5R rather, 5Rs.
Yeah, careful. Don't do whatever you did back about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We had an emergency call to Miss Clairol or something.
Okay, so karma hit me in the head. Back when we were kids, we had a drugstore at the end of our street called Revco. And it was really big fun for us to prank people by taking hair color out of one box and swapping it with hair color in another box. So somebody who might have thought they were doing a nice ash blonde was going to come out with a very different color of hair. Fast forward to me, I get a box of hair color. I am not paying attention to what the color bottle says on the inside of the box. I throw some color on my hair, rinse it out, come out, and my hair is bozo colored hair. It's not auburn. It is not any of the colors, natural, nothing. I looked like Carrot Top and freaked out. And so Jim had me do the walk of shame back into the store to get a different hair color to color my hair again. But we've had some hair coloring mishaps here.
Well, I and the kids stayed in the car and laughed. It was a sunny day too.
Yeah. Oh man, my hair was shining like a beacon. Oh man, it was bad. It was bad. So yeah, my boys have the most beautiful auburn hair you've ever seen in your life. And so I just try to emulate it. Let's see here. Anyone else? Come on, you guys. I know you have questions.
Oh, in case anyone, I'm not sure how you want to handle this, Doreen, whether you want to
Sure.
have your customers or clients come through you to talk
Oh, no,
to
no.
me,
Just have
or-
them reach out to you. Give them your contact
Okay.
information.
The best way to get a hold of me would be to go to bestlive.tv. And at the bottom, there's a form you can fill out. Just enter the letters CPL in front of whatever statement you want to make in the box about what type of broadcast, show, presentation you might want to get performed. And we'll take it from there. We'll touch base with you.
Right. Right. And then everyone has John's information as well. So reach out to us here, Detroit Arms or Cloud Bedrock. We'd be happy to help anyone. There's no commitment. We're not going to force you into buying what we have to offer. If you're trying to find a way to fit it into your budget, or it's just a little premature for you, but you still want to know, there's no obligation. Sign up for your 15 minutes and I'll talk to you for 45. So
Got no extra charge.
no extra charge.
You have to start paying her to stop at the hour mark. So that's when it
Right,
gets expensive.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little chatterbox. It's great news. Thank you all for joining us. Do you do this on Wednesdays? We don't always do it on Wednesday. Sometimes we do it on Thursday. The replays, of course, are available anytime as soon as Jim gets them up onto the site. But yeah, we pick different days because people have different things that they like to do. We happen to choose Wednesday this week and Wednesday next week because we have other things conflicting. But we've often done them on Thursdays. We've often done them on Tuesdays as well. So what is that site? Jim, let them know where they can find the previous. I never know where to send people because we have a website or a Facebook group called Pew Pros. And he just launched a new learning platform today. So
I just redirected the pewpros.com/members. We'll get you over to our new community, which makes it a little bit easier.
Up there?
Yeah, I did that. Oh no, I sent it to John. Sorry. Okay.
See how you are?
Yeah, try that again. There we go.
There we go.
And I think most anyone that would have registered for this webinar also would have gotten an invite for that very same community.
Okay. And anyone on the call, we will combine all of these contact forms and everything and get it out to you as well so that you have it available to you later. And that's all I have. Well, without any further ado, thank you everyone for joining us. We appreciate your time. Thank you, John. Thank you, Leland, for being a part of this tonight. And if anyone has any questions, you know where to find us. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.